Hey rCasters, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into a story that's got more twists than a pretzel factory and more zeros than a tech bro's bank account. We're talking CEOs, political power plays, and a huge $1 million donation that's got everyone talking. You heard that right. Apple's very own Tim Cook, the man who brought you the iPhone, the iPad, and probably that little dongle you can never seem to find, has just dropped a cool $1 million into President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration fund. Now, before you start smashing your Apple products in protest, let's unpack this. Because, folks, this isn't just about a donation, it's about the whole tangled web of money, influence, and power in American politics. $1 million. That's enough to buy, like, a small island, a fleet of fancy cars, or, a whole lot of influence in Washington, D.C. And Tim Cook isn't alone. We're seeing a parade of Silicon Valley bigwigs lining up to fill Trump's coffers. Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, even Jeff Bezos, they've all been spotted at Mar-a-Lago, cozying up to the president-elect. It seems like everyone's trying to get on Trump's good side, and they're doing it with their checkbooks. Now, the official line from Cook's camp is that this is all about unity and a great American tradition, because, nothing says unity like a seven-figure check. But let's be real, this is about business. Trump's been making noises about tariffs, especially on Chinese goods. And guess where a lot of Apple's products are made? You guessed it, China. So, is this donation a way to avoid a trade war that could cost Apple billions? It's a theory that's gaining traction. And it's not just Apple. Companies from all over the map are chipping in. Ford, Toyota, GM, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, even Coinbase. It's like a who's who of corporate America, all writing checks to the Trump inauguration. The Reddit thread on this topic is going wild. Some are calling these donations bribes, plain and simple. Others are saying it's more like extortion money or a kiss the ring gesture. One commenter even dubbed it the Inaug Corruption Fund. And get this, apparently Biden's inauguration fund raised even more than Obama's, and Trump's 2017 fund doubled that. It seems like the price of political influence is going up faster than inflation. The most upvoted comment just says, "Gotta pay to play, baby." And honestly, that about sums it up. But this whole inauguration fund thing, what even is that? The campaign's over, right? It's not like he's buying TV ads anymore. Are they spending this money on new curtains for the Oval Office? Turns out it's a pretty normal thing, at least in American politics. Both Democrats and Republicans do it. But the scale of Trump's fundraising is, shall we say, unprecedented. Apparently in the past, the leftover money from these funds was donated to charity, or it was traceable at least. But with Trump's 2017 fund, an estimated $50 million just, poof, vanished. And according to one article, Trump and the committee aren't required by law to answer questions about it. Convenient, right? One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. It's like the system was set up for someone like Trump to come in and take advantage. Now, let's talk about the Supreme Court for a minute. They've basically said that limiting political donations is a violation of free speech. So, in a way, this whole mess is kind of their fault. And it's not just about the presidency, it's about Congress, the Supreme Court, the whole shebang. One commenter pointed out that if they so much as buy a metro ticket with their company credit card outside the US, they have to report it as payment to a foreign government. But inside the US, a CEO can just casually hand $1 million to a politician, and that's totally cool. The hypocrisy is, frankly, astounding. And what about the ethics of all this? We're talking about massive corporations potentially influencing government policy with their donations. Is this what a healthy democracy looks like? A lot of people on Reddit are saying absolutely not. Some are even suggesting that this whole system is more like an oligarchy than a democracy. And you know what? It's hard to argue with that. This whole situation raises some big questions. Questions about the role of money in politics, about corporate influence, about the very nature of our democracy. And it's not just about Trump or Biden or any one individual. It's about the system itself. A system where money talks, and it often talks louder than the voices of ordinary citizens. I want to leave you with this quote from Samuel J. Harris that one of the Redditors posted. "What's the point of having few money if you never say if you, and still line up to kiss the ring? It's a good question. Why are these tech billionaires, these titans of industry, so eager to play this game? Is it fear? Is it greed? Is it just the way things are? I am not sure. But if you find yourself at a dinner table with Tim Cook, be sure to ask him. Now, let's dive deeper. This isn't just about one donation or one inauguration. This is a pattern, a trend that's been growing for years. Remember Citizens United? That Supreme Court decision that opened the floodgates for corporate money in politics? Well, this is the result. We're seeing a political landscape where corporations and wealthy individuals have an outsized influence on policy and elections, and it's not just about campaign contributions. It's about lobbying, it's about think tanks, it's about a whole ecosystem of influence that's designed to keep the powerful in power, and the consequences are real. We see it in tax policies that favor the wealthy, in regulations that are often written by the very industries they're supposed to regulate, and in a general sense that the system is rigged against ordinary people. One Reddit comment put it like this: "We traded a system with corruption for a corrupt system," and another said, "The rich get richer, the poor go to jail." Hard to disagree. So what can we do about it? Well, it's not easy. Overturning Citizens United would be a huge step, but that's an uphill battle. We could push for greater transparency in political donations, so at least we know who's giving what to whom. We could support campaign finance reform that limits the amount of money that can be spent on elections. But ultimately, it comes down to us, the voters. We need to be informed, we need to be engaged, and we need to hold our elected officials accountable. We need to demand a system that works for all of us, not just the wealthy and powerful. And it's not just about voting. It's about organizing. It's about protesting. It's about making our voices heard in whatever way we can. Because if we don't, who will? The corporations, the billionaires, they're doing just fine with the way things are. It's up to us to change the system, to create a democracy that's truly of, by and for the people. Look, I know this is heavy stuff. It's easy to get discouraged, to feel like the system is too broken to fix. But I believe we can make a difference. We have to. The future of our democracy depends on it. And it starts with conversations like this one, with asking tough questions, with challenging the status quo, with refusing to accept that this is just the way things are. We, the people, have the power to change things. We just have to be willing to use it. That's it for this extended episode of rCast. I hope this has given you some food for thought. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What are your ideas for fixing this broken system? What can we do, as individuals and as a community, to make a difference? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who needs to hear it. And remember, rCasters, the power is in your hands. Use it wisely. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay hopeful.